Just like the real deal airplanes, ours also came equipped with this emergency exit for pilots up in the nose of the airplane. We'll be referring to this as our tiny home skylight. Unfortunately, our tiny home skylight is actually leaking and it's not very usable for our guests. We really want this portion of the airplane to be the master bedroom, and if someone were laying in the bed looking up at the night sky, we want to make sure that they will stay dry even if there is dew or rain in the forecast or what have you. So today our project is going to be figuring out a way to seal this off, make it waterproof so there is no leaking from this cool emergency exit pilot hatch. We decided that the easiest way to maintain function of this hatch door as well as keep the inside of the airplane dry would be to purchase some kind of a clear see-through material that we could fit on the top or the outside of the airplane, so the roof of the airplane, seal around that and then attach it so it is permanently fixed. This way it will keep all the moisture and rain out and it will not interfere at all with the ability to remove this emergency exit door. We were looking for a piece of plexiglass, but David, being the deal finder that he is, decided to search a little bit outside of the box on Facebook Marketplace. He actually ended up finding this piece of plexiglass that was meant to be used as a sneeze guard for different foods. So if you were in like a cafeteria line or at a buffet restaurant, it will work as a see-through piece of plexiglass for the top of our airplane. The biggest obstacle with this flat piece of plexiglass was that the top of the airplane is obviously curved. So how do we take this flat piece of plexiglass and match it up perfectly with a curved airplane? So after cutting the plexiglass to the size that we needed, we put it on top of the hatch door that we had removed from the airplane, and we decided we were going to work on curving it. We had a couple ideas for doing this. Our first idea was to go ahead and put a ratchet strap around it to force it to bend around the hatch door. We decided to use a heat gun to help move the plexiglass along in that rounding process. After using the heat gun for a little while with just the ratchet strap, we realized that this was putting way too much force at one specific spot on the plexiglass. It was actually causing an indentation where the ratchet strap was touching the plexiglass. So David and his dad came up with a new plan. They wanted to try to more evenly distribute the forces, so they got a 1x1 piece of wood that was long enough to go along the whole edge of the piece of plexiglass. They put one on each side and then put the ratchet strap around the plexiglass plus the wood. They hoped that this would more evenly distribute the force that was being applied by the ratchet strap, so they would have a nice even curve along the whole length of the piece of plexiglass. As you can see, this new plan plus the use of the heat gun worked pretty well. The real test was going to be, would the curve stay when they release the ratchet strap? There was some curve maintained in the plexiglass when they released the ratchet strap. Unfortunately, when they put it on top of the airplane, where it was ultimately going to be secured, there still wasn't enough curve to lay flat on the airplane.
Well, we're up here on top of the nose. I'm just trying to put this piece of plexiglass so that you have a nice moon and star view bedroom outlook from the pilot hatch. And we're just trying to right now match the curvature of the plane and try to heat up this plexiglass in order for it to lay smoothly across the curvature and make sure it seals properly so that you don't get wet.
It took some time and a decent amount of patience, but eventually the heat gun did curve it enough that it laid fairly flat with the roof of the airplane. The next step was to use a silicone caulk to seal between the plexiglass and the airplane. We wanted to make sure that no water or bugs or anything else was able to come through between the plexiglass and the roof of the airplane. After putting in that sealant to make a good seal, David then drilled holes into the plexiglass and then screwed the plexiglass down into the airplane.
Over tightened it, snapped the head right off. That's not good. Looks like it squished out the sealant.
After the plexiglass was completely secured, the last thing to do was to fill the screw holes with the silicone caulk to make sure that there was no water going to penetrate into our tiny home skylight. David decided to put a bead of silicone caulk along the tail edge and the nose edge of the plexiglass just to be sure there was no water sneaking its way in between the plexiglass and the roof of the airplane. From a bird's eye view, the Skylight isn't picture perfect aesthetically, but it is super duper functional. It definitely is keeping the weather out, the rain, the moisture, the bugs, all that sort of thing. It's going to allow anybody staying in the airplane to be able to enjoy the moon and stars from their master bedroom at night. It's also going to allow lots of light to come into the bedroom during the day, so we are really happy with how this project turned out. As you can see, the emergency exit hatch door is still a little bit tricky to put back into place because of the broken board on the inside of the airplane, but that's a project for another day. Make sure you subscribe to our channel so you'll be the first to see that video when it comes out.
Are you ready?